Aloha everyone, so I am back at Home Depot. I had a lot of you comment about the price of those orchids that I got. In shock that they were so cheap. And I did mention that, you know, I did buy them before for that price, and it's usually during a holiday. So I know it was on a holiday that they had you know, these types of different orchids at this price. So I'm guessing maybe it was brought in for maybe the 4th of July. But this is what they have left. So I think when I came yesterday, I was probably the first one to go through it because this rack was full. And this is what I usually see when I come in. It's mostly phals. Once in a while they do have dendrobiums, but the price is definitely not $7.80. So I don't even usually check the orchids anymore when I come, because this is usually all they have. So because they were right here in the middle of the main walkway, they caught my attention immediately. And I was just here a couple days ago and I didn't see these, so they're definitely new. For this price, I might grab a few more. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, this is it. I haven't been to any other locations. I do live on Oahu. I don't know if the other stores also have them, but the one that I'm at, they still have a few. Okay guys, so I'm gonna look what they got and maybe possibly go home with a couple more. Alright guys, so I am back in my garden. Sorry for all the traffic you're gonna be hearing. It's a busy time right now. This is when usually people are going home from work, so you're probably going to be hearing a lot of cars go by throughout my video. But anyways, I got home a couple hours ago and I did end up bringing 2 more orchids home. So let me show you guys what I got. So these are the 2 that I brought home. I haven't taken them out of the wrapper yet. And that's the price tag right there, so still $7.88. So this one, they both don't have tags. I haven't seen, I kind of peeked in there and I didn't see any tags, but I know this one is a dendrobium. And honestly, I kind of wish I got it yesterday because I know there was a bigger one, but I guess I overlooked all the dendrobiums just because I see dendrobiums at Home Depot all the time, and because there were so many others available, I just totally ignored it. But I know there was a better one yesterday, a bigger one that had more flowers, but that's okay. For the price, I mean, I still can't go wrong with this one. And I don't have anything this color, so this is a nice addition to my collection. The other one is this orchid right here. The bulbs looked really good. They look really healthy. I went ahead and made sure I peeked in there before I brought it home. And I don't know what it is because it's still in bud. So I might end up having a duplicate of, you know, one of the other ones that I bought yesterday, but that's okay. I decided that even these 2, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep them. So I have them all on this table right here for now, and I'm probably gonna just keep them here until the flowers fade, and then I'll find a more permanent spot to put them. So I bought 9 yesterday and 2 today, so I have 11 altogether. Which, I mean, I think I got a pretty good deal considering how pretty they are. And yes, I did determine that the two that I got are different. So I can see the difference in the designs and a little difference in the color variations. So this is my $7.88 orchid haul from Home Depot, guys. And I only went to one location, so I'm probably gonna call the other two just to see if they have any, and if they do, if they still have a lot, because it might be worth taking a drive down there to check it out. So I might give them a call. Anyways, I'm gonna do a quick garden walk. As I mentioned in my video the other day, I talked about how I noticed that my spikes, I've been having a lot of spikes, but they've been having some issues. So I wanted to update you guys on this one in particular. So if you guys recognize this orchid, this is the one that was given to me. And it already had this spike on it. And it was coming along nicely. I actually had a flower that had already opened up, and you could see the color of the buds that were already developed. But if you look at it now, they're gone. And I couldn't understand what was going on. I was like, you know, something has to be eating it. So every so often I'll do a evening garden walk, because every time I come out here in the evening, I'll find at least one slug. I honestly should probably do it every night, but I don't do it that often. I need to start doing it more often. So when I came out here last night, sure enough, there was a slug on this part of my orchid. So I have a really long tweezers. In fact, they're right here. I use these tweezers to grab the slug, and I throw them over my back wall. A lot of people tell me to use salt, and I don't know. I just don't want to, I don't want to torture them. I just want them out. So I just throw them over. But anyways, so now I have the answer to what's been going on with this spike. At least now I know. So I'll probably throw some slug bait in the pot. That's the bad news. The good news is it grew another spike. So luckily, so far this one looks okay. And now that I know what's been happening, hopefully I can prevent that from happening to this one. And then I think the flowers, the buds will develop on this upper part. But I mean, it already did a lot of damage to the pretty much bottom half. So that's one of the spikes that I was talking about that I had issues with. Let's see, since I'm already over here, I'm gonna update you guys on these dendrobiums really quick. So if you guys watched my birthday haul video, these are the orchids that I brought home from my birthday haul, and the flowers are still looking nice. And if you guys didn't watch it, I got these orchids for $10, guys. And you can see how big they are. And this one was actually still in bud. So that ended up blooming. And then what I noticed this morning was, remember how I was kind of worried about them because I had to really clean them up because there were ferns and weeds and a lot going on because these plants are kind of neglected. But I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys. Look at the new growth. There is new roots growing. And I didn't take a closer look. I'm just noticing this right now, and I hope that's not part of the thorn that's growing back. I'm gonna have to check that out later, because that looks really green. But yeah, so far they look good. I mean, the flowers last a while. And here's the other one. The issue I had with this one, the buds did dry up, so I lost the buds that were on here. But the rest of the flowers, I mean, they still look okay. And this one too, it's growing new roots. Oh, and I just noticed this. Look at that, guys. Another spike coming out. Gosh, I wonder if there's anything else I didn't see. Oh, let's see. There's something right there. Not focusing. There we go. So, that's a good thing. At least I know that they're okay and they're doing good. Okay, moving on. So this is my baby raspberry chocolate, and the blooms still look good. You know, I noticed with this one, I think it depends on the time of day, if you can smell the fragrance or not, because there was a couple times that I try to smell it and I don't smell anything, and there was other times that I smell it and it's so strong. So I guess it just depends. You just got to catch it at the right time. So the other spikes that I'm having issues with are with these up here. I believe this is going to be the second time this orchid is going to bloom for me. And this time around it grew 2 spikes. As you can see, this one right here, the buds are developing nicely. But then on this spike, something definitely is going on. Sorry, the wind's blowing and my plant's turning. So it looks like something has, oops. Let's see, I'm going to try and hold it. Something has definitely gotten to this spike. You know, what I wanted to ask you guys is that when you see a spike developing, do you guys normally treat it right away? Or do you guys wait until you notice something going on? I'm not a fan of strong chemicals. So I was gonna mix up a solution that the nursery owner from Olamana told me about. And he said he sprays it on his buds. So it is, I believe, 1 cup of alcohol, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of vinegar, and a few drops of dish soap. And he said he mixes that up in a spray bottle, and that's the reason I went to Home Depot the other day, was to buy that spray bottle. And he sprays it on his buds. So I was gonna use that because, like I said, I've been noticing all these issues. But what do you guys use? What do I do to prevent it from happening to begin with? I mean, you know, we wait so long for spikes and buds to develop, and when it gets destroyed like that, it's sad, because now we know that we have to wait, you know, till it spikes again. Anyways, guys, I wanted to show you guys these right here. These are giant white bird of paradise, and I have several of them. But anyway, this one recently bloomed, And look there, it's in a pot. And this one has bloomed for me a couple times already. Like I had a few on the front and now this one's coming out of the back. All right, moving along. All right, so on this side of my garden, I have my hanging bare root dendrobiums and a few other orchids. And this one is another $10 orchid that I got from that private nursery. And after I brought it home, it actually had a spike coming out of here. And it was developing nicely. It had some nice buds on it. And then I started noticing the buds get discolored. So I sent a picture to Smiley from Smiley's Orchids, and she advised me that it was probably an insect called midge. And the only thing to do was to cut the spike off and throw it away. And then the other thing she told me was to put a container, a bowl of vinegar and a few drops of dish soap nearby because that attracts the bugs. So I did exactly that, and then she said to change it out every couple of days. But anyways, I was very hesitant to cut the spike off because like I mentioned, you know, we wait forever for spikes to develop. But the buds kept declining, they were going downhill. And I had other spikes developing on these nearby plants, so instead of risking all of them getting infected, I went ahead, or not infected, affected I should say. I went ahead and cut it off, and hopefully it grows another spike. Okay, so the one right next to it, as you can see, something happened with this bud right here. The rest of them look okay. So hopefully I'll get some nice flowers out of this one. This beauty just bloomed for me recently. And thanks to some viewers, I was able to identify it. So I'll be putting the name up on the screen. And this is the second time that this one has bloomed for me. And this is another one that I was given when I first started collecting. So I had it over 2 years. Let's see. This one is in spike, or in bud I should say. And again, I'm trying to zoom. Man, this is a new phone and it's giving me, it always switches lenses, and it always gives me a hard time to focus. I thought I had it there. Okay, let's see. Okay guys, sorry. But as you can see, this bud too is also turning colors. The rest of them look okay, but that one looks like that one's not gonna make it. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, so how I mentioned my evening garden walk. When I came back here last night, I found this Areca palm on the ground, and if you can see the soil still down there, it landed on this Spathoglottis and it broke off the spike. So that was a good sized spike that was growing. It knocked over this succulent, broke some pieces off, so I just threw them all back in the pot. And then I didn't realize last night, but then I seen it this morning, that this spike was also bent over. It was still connected, but it was facing down, so I straightened it out and I put this splint on it. And if you can see that. So hopefully it'll continue to develop. And right next to it, there was another spike. Luckily, this one was not damaged. So, if you guys remember in my video yesterday, it was very windy. So I guess overnight it blew the whole plant over. So what I did today, because even this morning, right now it's not that windy, but this morning it was gusting. And I really thought it was gonna fall over again. So what I did was I deeply watered all these pots just to make them really heavy. But that's just a short-term solution. What I have to do is I'll have to drill into my wall and anchor the pots down. So I'll use some wire and put a hole through the pot just to anchor it to the back wall. So that way when the winds do get strong, they won't fall over, because not only did it damage my Spathoglottis, but it also damaged this dendrobium right here. So this one was barely hanging on and by like a thread. So I don't know if this one's gonna make it, but I also went ahead and put a splint on this one and put a Velcro strap right where it split. So these buds were facing down when I found it. And like I said, it was barely hanging on by a thread. Luckily, it didn't catch this spike here. So far, this one looks okay. I don't see anything attacking this one. But now that this one was broken, I don't know if they're gonna just dry up and go downhill, or if they'll continue to develop. I guess only time will tell for that. So that's the damage that I received when this large palm fell over. It could have been worse, because this plant right here that's also in bud is just a couple plants over. So I'm lucky that it didn't break this one, because this is going to be my first bloom out of this one. So I have a lot of Spathoglottis that are in bud. And then I have a few more spikes over here. It's starting to get dark, so I'm gonna try and be quick. So this one I got from Olamana Nursery. And when I got it, it was not in spike. And now I have 2 spikes growing. So what do you guys think? Should I spray these now to prevent anything from happening to these buds? I'm always hesitant to spray the buds because sometimes I'm afraid that I'm gonna damage them. But then when I don't spray them, something ends up happening to them anyway. And the other spikes that I was gonna show you guys are these right here. So this used to be one plant, and again, this one was also given to me in the beginning when I first started collecting, and I split them in 2. And this one bloomed for me before, and it bloomed again recently. As you can see, I didn't cut the spikes off, and now it grew another spike. This one, on the other hand, it did not bloom for me until now. I just noticed that it grew So this is gonna be the first time since I divided it that this one is gonna bloom for me. And these are just in lava rock. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to be ending it now since it's starting to get dark. I just wanted to update you guys on that issues that I've been having with my spikes. So if you guys have any advice, you know, please let me know, because like I mentioned, it is super discouraging when the buds start to decline and stop developing. Especially when you get so excited to finally see a spike only to have that happen. So I don't know, what do you guys think of that solution, that alcohol, water and vinegar with some dish soap? Have any of you guys ever tried that? And if you did, does it work for you? Again, I really would like to stay away from using chemicals because I do have my doggy back here. This is Diamond, everybody, and she's 10 years old. So I really try not to use chemicals as much as possible. Right, Diamond? Okay, guys. So anyways, I will see what you guys all have to say. And definitely do something. I'll spray something. I don't know what I'm gonna spray yet. I'll wait till I hear what, you know, what majority uses, and I'll let you guys know how that works out for me. So until the next one, guys, take care, and aloha everyone.